Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with the DRF race of the day for Labor Day 2022, Monday, September the 5th. It's closing day at Saratoga, and race number 3 is our race of the day. It's the Grade 3 Baruch Handicap. We're going 1 1/16 on the inner turf. I'll be back with the full preview after this brief message.
Want to view free Formulator past performances for this race? Head to the Race of the Day page at DRF.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel and bet this card with DRF Bets.
Let's take a look at the field for the Grade 3 Baruch Handicap. Please scan the QR code for Race of the Day access on your mobile device. It's a small but pretty select field here in the Baruch, and it's a competitive bunch. City Man, the number 5, a quality New York bred, enters off a victory in the Grade 3 Forbidden Apple. He and the number 1, Ocala Dream, were entered in the West Point Handicap for New York breds about a week and a half ago. That race was washed off the turf, so I guess you could say this is Plan B. Let's take a look at the Timeform US pace projector for this race. It's a short field. We're not expecting a ton of speed, but the number 4, Winter's Back, should be up front. He's ridden by a very aggressive jockey in Luis Saez. He should be fresh, returning off of a lengthy layoff, and it's his preferred running style anyway. He is at his best when he's able to get to the front, and if he can slow the pace down to blue bar territory, which would favor horses on or near the early lead according to Timeform US, he might be tough to catch despite the long rest. The number 1 in here is Ocala Dream, going out for trainer Tom Morley, and this horse is a New York bred stakes winner in 2022. He won the Kingston 3 starts back, and he looked pretty good doing so at 17-1. That was the last time he raced without Lasix. Lasix off again, obviously, in this graded stakes race at Saratoga. The trip was there for him. He was able to save ground early, but he looked strong winning, and that tactical speed should play very well in this short field without much pace. He breaks from the inside post, and perhaps he can tuck into a pace-tracking, ground-saving pocket position. His last 2 races look a little bit disappointing on paper, but he reportedly got overheated in the paddock and in the post-parade 2 starts back, and maybe that worked against him when he finished behind Emirati. Last time out, they stretched him out to 1 3/16, maybe a bridge too far, and the winner of that race is pretty good. Soldier Rising will return to run 3rd in the Grade 1 Sword Dancer with a 103 Beyer speed figure. This horse has several races. That race 3 starts back makes him a contender. The number 2 is Muliage, going out for Chad Brown, Arad Ortiz. This horse has only raced once in North America. It's this race, the Grade 3 Canadian Turf, way back on March 5th at Gulfstream. Muliage, like many European horses, didn't break very well. He makes a brief lead in the stretch, and he's run down by a quality horse. Mura Mission has come back to run several bang-up races. He was Grade 1 placed at Churchill Downs on Kentucky Derby Day. As for Muliage, he missed a lot of time after that race with a minor injury. Chad Brown is excellent off layoffs, and this colt has a strong kick, and I believe he has a bit of upside potential as well. That was a promising North American debut for Muliage, and he should be running on at the end. The 3 is Dyna Drive, and both trainer Morley and the horse deserve a ton of credit because this horse got very, very sick earlier this year. He has returned to start twice for Morley and has won both times, including this race, the restricted Lure at Saratoga on August the 6th. Now, there was a big pace on in the Lure, a runaway pace setter, set enervating fractions, and Dyna Drive received a beautiful trip under Eric Consell at 23-1. He was able to save ground most of the way while far off that fast pace, split horses on the turn, dropped down inside, very game to win at the end. That race produced a career best Beyer of 96 for Dyna Drive. He's another horse that I think is adaptable somewhat to the pace. He'll be far back if it's fast. If it's slower, he can be a lot closer to the pace, and it looks like he's in career form, although he's stepping up slightly in class. The 4 is Winter's Back, and on the face of it, it looks like a very tough ask for Winter's Back. This horse has not raced in over a year. Todd Pletcher's stats, according to Formulator, however, quite good with horses off this sort of long layoff. It's not easy, but Pletcher's winning 28% over the past 5 years with horses that have been away for 1 year or greater. Winter's Back was second in the Monmouth Stakes 2 starts back way back in June of 2021. He showed good speed that day. He was involved in a pace battle with a horse that finished well in the back of the pack. He made the front, and he was a decent second behind a decent horse in Devamani. Last time out the United Nations, he was placed on a hard chase behind the sharp winner Tribhuvan, and that trip just didn't work out, that distance didn't work out, and that class level probably didn't work out either. Pletcher is great off the layoff. This horse could be loose on the lead at a fair price. City Man is the number 5. We're going to watch City Man win the Grade 3 Forbidden Apple earlier this meet at Saratoga. He got a nice trip and ride this day under Joel Rosario for trainer Christophe Clement. He saved ground for the first half mile or so, eased out to split horses on the turn, and he was game to win and was getting away from them at the end. He earned a career-best 104 Beyer speed figure for this effort. He just seems like a horse who's at his best at these middle distances, and he's the kind that has the tactical speed that can work out his own trip. I think Rosario is going to have him in the second flight, right behind the speeds, and he should have dead aim on them turning into the stretch. Completing this field is another Chad Brown-trained runner, and that is the number 6, Emirati. And Emirati is coming off a victory at Saratoga on August the 4th, a race we'll look at right now. This is a third-level allowance. Emirati had been entered for the $80,000 tag in his 2 prior starts. He was protected in this race, and he got up at the very end to win by a nose, and the race has come back live. The 4th-place finisher returned to win a similar third-level allowance heat with a 100 Beyer speed figure. This was sort of a coming-out party for Emirati, a horse that came over here and maybe didn't pan out the way the connections had hoped. It appears he's getting good. It appears he really likes Saratoga, and he's the kind of horse that I expect to be taken back and make one run under Flavien Prat. It's a quality group, and before we get to my top selection, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for all the latest DRFTV video franchises. Top pick time, I'm going to go with City Man in here. I liked his performance in the Forbidden Apple. I think you could pick apart some of his losses. A tough trip in the Kingston 2 starts back, a very wet turf course 3 back, and if you throw those races out, you're left with 2 solid wins with triple-digit Beyers, Rosario riding in unbelievable form, Clement having his usual excellent meet. I'll go City Man in the closing day co-feature at Saratoga on Monday. Our DRF race of the day is the Bernard Baruch. Good luck.